Yesterday, I was out gathering signatures, and I had not one, but two conversations that I just can't stop thinking about. Both gentlemen brought up the same concern that there are thousands and thousands of illegals being brought in to vote. Now, I understand why people are worried, because that's what they're hearing. But I asked them to take time later to look up a recent study by the Heritage Foundation, an extremely far-right think tank. In their study, they reviewed more than 2 billion votes over 24 years and found just 77 cases of non-citizens attempting to vote. Only 10 of those were undocumented. The rest were here legally. Now, the first man I spoke with actually brought up the SAVE Act to me and voiced his support for it. When I told him I was worried about it because it could take away my right to vote, he stopped and said, "Wait, aren't you a citizen? I don't understand." And I told him, yes, I am a citizen. I was born in the United States, but that doesn't mean that this law won't impact my right to vote. He was shocked. And I explained that because I was married and took my husband's last name, my last name no longer matches my birth certificate. And my ID, that real ID that I jumped through a million hoops to get, wouldn't be enough to prove my citizenship. So I would have to spend anywhere from $160 to well over $200 to get a passport just to vote. And you could see the moment it clicked. And he looked at me and he said, "Wait, I can't support this." And he told me that he has a daughter and he wants to see her get married someday. And he had no idea that this could affect her right to vote. Right there, he changed his mind. Now, the second man brought up the same concern about non-citizens voting, and we walked through those same numbers together. And when he heard them, he looked at me, and we both agreed that if anyone would find a problem like that, it would be the Heritage Foundation. And he paused, and he just said, "Well, that's it. I guess TV's out." These weren't arguments. They were genuine face-to-face conversations. And twice in one day, I watched what happens when people hear real information. They don't shut down. They think. And they reconsider. And that's why this matters. Because people deserve facts, not fear when it comes to their right to vote.